Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
It's all about you. The Biggs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Karen got her come up with this once again. According to the Black Information Network, the Soho Karen, also known as Maya Ponsetto, was indicted last week on several charges in connection with the infamous incident in which she falsely accused a black teen of stealing her cell phone last December. TMZ adds that Ponsetto has been charged with 2 felony counts of unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime and 2 misdemeanor counts of aggravated harassment and endangering the welfare of a child. Ponsetto's attorney, Paul D'Amelia, pled not guilty on the 22-year-old's behalf. The lawyer called out Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance in a statement to TMZ saying, quote, "Instead of helping to foster a civil and enlightened resolution to an unfortunate incident between 2 young people, DA Vance chose a craven and opportunistic path in indicting with felony hate charges." Now, if you're wondering what the situation is, Ponsetto was seen in a viral video attacking 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. at the Arlo Hotel in New York City after she accused him of stealing her cell phone. The teen's father, Keon Harold Sr., was there at the time of the incident, something the family's legal team is thankful for. Now, I don't know what Ponsetto's lawyer is on, but when you got witnesses like that looking dead at your client, doing the very thing she's charged for, and you want to flip the script like that, this is the very reason why racism is alive and well, because some folk think they can get away with things and not be accountable for them. This is almost akin to somebody screaming rape. That's getting tired. I'm really getting tired of that. So shouts out to the dad on this one for putting homegirl in her place, because she definitely needs it. Vince Brown in the morning. Check your watches. 17 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Your community leader. The Biggs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Name it and claim it. The Biggs Radio Network.
.30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. You can catch this great program 6 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, on our flagship BiggsRadio.com. And also on the East Coast, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, through our Philadelphia affiliate, SoulRadio51Philly.com. Later tonight, live edition of the popular Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer, 9 p.m. Central Time, on the flagship BiggsRadio.com. Folks, we got a Senate race down in Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. Former Kentucky State Representative Charles Booker has announced he's going to challenge President U.S. Senator Rand Paul next November. Last year, he ran in the primary on the Democratic side to potentially try and unseat Mitch McConnell, but lost against Amy McGrath. This time around, Booker is hopeful he can advance past the primary and defeat Paul in the general. As the holiday ended, State Representative Booker said, quote, "As we go into this day where we celebrate our independence, let's commit to making it mean something. And I'm not just asking that of you, I'm going to lead by example. And it's with that understanding that we have to lead ourselves that I'm going to run for the United States Senate." Brother, I wish you the best of luck because you're about to run up against a lot of stuff. Among those, potential voter suppression issues. Because you know the Commonwealth trying to do some things on the GOP side to make sure your folk don't vote. So I'd advise you get the vote out ASAP now. All right? Vince Brown in the morning. Social media question of the day coming up. Hold what you got. We are creeping up on 27 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
We're not for sale. The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Online and on your mobile device.
The Bigs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. At 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, our Facebook group is now open for membership. Bigs Radio Station. That's where we put all the premieres at. Podcasts, fresh new music for you to vote on, exclusive events, all that good stuff. Upgrade your Bigs Radio love to VIP status right now by joining the Facebook group Bigs Radio Station. Social media question of the day. And we are talking insurrection. The Black Information Network reports that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has tapped Congressman Benny Thompson of Mississippi, who would lead a special commission on the January 6th Capitol attack. Thompson also serves as the House Homeland Security Chairman. Thompson thanked Pelosi for her, quote, steadfast commitment to getting to the truth behind the January 6th domestic terrorist attack on the Capitol. He then said of the select committee, quote, we'll do our job. We have to get to the bottom of finding out all of the things that went wrong January 6th. Later calling out Republicans who refused to budge on forming the bipartisan panel to investigate the attack. Thompson added, quote, they had an opportunity to really engage, and they didn't, so they can't come back and say, oh, that's not fair. And he's right. Republicans in the Senate had a chance to really make some noise here with a bipartisan commission, and by party line vote, they said, nope, we don't want the truth getting out. So that lets us further know Republicans, whether they're in the Senate or the House, they don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth because they'll see themselves a part of the same truth. And that's why they're trying their best legislatively not to make it happen. Heck, even House Minority Leader McCarthy's like, any of you Republicans get on there, I'm snatching your committee assignments. Liz Cheney, who's actually on the group and accepted Pelosi's appointment, said, go ahead on, brother. You still gonna get this work. That's a bold woman. But y'all keep forgetting, her dad was the Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney. Don't let him sniff any of that. McCarthy don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke. That now leads us to our social media question of the day. What questions do you want answered about the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol? You can respond to us through our Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station, or hit the Biggs Radio line, talk or text, and respond that way, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Again, the question: what questions do you want answered about the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol? Folks, that'll take care of this hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. If this is your last stop, we appreciate you kicking it with us this hour. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. on the East Coast. For those of you moving right along, we've got our cover story next hour. We're talking the origin of black barbecues, considering the whole gang of y'all did so this past Sunday. Where exactly did barbecue come from? We always talk about picnics, but those of us in the hood say barbecues. Where'd that come from? That's our cover story next hour. This is Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposit at a Bank of America ATM near you. Check your watches. We are at 10 before the hour.
The Biggs Radio Network. Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
The catch of the day.
The Biggs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Putting my sports head on for a moment because we've got history in college athletics. You know, the big thing used to be signing day when the youngsters would sign that NLI, you know, that National Letter of Intent. Well, thanks to the Black Information Network, we now have our first NCAA athlete to sign an NIL deal. That's names, images, and likenesses. And wouldn't you know it, it would come from the HBCU circuit. Jackson State University football player Antoine Owens became the first Division I player to sign up for that type of deal. Moving forward, Owens will work as an ambassador for Three Kings Grooming, a black-owned hair product business. Michael Nwanko of Three Kings Grooming told Sports Illustrated, quote, "We're making history. We've gone through the roster on JSU's team, and we saw Antoine. He fit the mold of what our brand is, and we have an image of our brand." Now, not long after Owens signed that deal, here comes another HBCU athlete. Tennessee State men's basketball star Hersey Miller signed a $2 million deal with an American technology company. They're not disclosing the company, but hey, $2 million is $2 million to a college student, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta tell you, kudos to the HBCUs for helping lead the way on this, for showing you can do this right. And in the case of Mr. Owens, do it with a black-owned company. That's how we're supposed to get down. Keep it in the family, you know what I'm saying? So kudos to everybody that's starting to get those deals and get a little extra cash in their pocket. Because you know, scholarship just ain't enough these days for these college students, man. Especially when these universities making billions and billions off your behind. Come on, man. That ain't right. Fool's gonna talk about the college experience, it should be enough. Man, please. Y'all making oodles and oodles of money. Let these athletes get some of this. Come on, man. Let's go. Vince Brown in the morning. Stay tuned. Our cover story coming up. We're talking the origin of the word barbecue, especially the black barbecue. Hold what you got. 18 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The voice of the community.
The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The community's choice. The Bigs Radio Network.
30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. A reminder, you can catch this program each and every Monday through Friday morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, on the flagship BigsRadio.com, and out east, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, on our Philly affiliate Soul Radio, 51philly.com. Let me say that again, soulradio51philly.com. Coming up later tonight, fresh new live edition of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer gets going at 9 p.m. Central Time on our flagship BigsRadio.com. It's a show where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Time now for our cover story. And with us just coming off of the July 4th holiday, we know everybody and their grandma in the hood did a barbecue. But, where the hell did the word barbecue come from? Well, my friends at the Black Information Network say, you know what? I was going to tell you a little story. Check this out. It all came way back when Christopher Columbus supposedly discovered America. And I stress the word supposedly. He found some Tainos slow-cooking meat on wooden frames. The indigenous tribe explained to Columbus that the cooking technique was called, and this is in their language, barbacoa. Sound familiar? All right. Now, by the time the Revolutionary War had taken place, barbecuing was fairly common across America. However, the practice did not truly spread across the country until the transatlantic slave trade took off. Author Jim Auchmuty explains that, quote, barbecue and slavery took root in America at about the same time, and they spread across the South in tandem. In the 19th century, barbecues and cookouts were used as social gatherings for white Americans, but enslaved black Americans were forced to do the hard labor and make them happy. In fact, barbecues became so popular that then President Andrew Jackson started to host his own so that he could gather others to promote his own political policies. Interesting how that works. Over time, the nation expanded and black Americans began to take the barbecuing to new areas. Culinary historian Jessica B. Harris explains that, quote, as black barbecue masters spread across the South and Midwest, their mop sauce evolved, and so did their marinades, rubs, and assorted barbecue sauces, end quote. To this day, black elders are still experimenting with different spices and techniques. Most importantly, they're also passing along these traditions to younger generations. As a result, the cooking techniques that originated in the 15th century extend well into now and bring friends and families together. Now, let me put an addendum to this. You hear pretty much everybody in the hood calling their affair a barbecue and not a picnic. Why? The real story behind the word picnic is it was used primarily in accordance with a black person getting ready to be lynched. The pick a N-word to lynch, thereby picnic. So that's why we in the hood said, no, we ain't saying picnic no more. We calling it barbecue. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Your cover story for today here on Vince Brown in the Morning. All about where the biscuit, the word barbecue, come from. Nah, we gonna have a cold one. We gonna drink up to a barbecue, all right? Vince Brown in the Morning. Check your watches as we keep the moves, views, and great music moving. It's 25 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
The new sound in town.
The Bigs Radio Network. Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
It's all about you.
The Bigs Radio Network.
$15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Got some good news on the outer space front. NASA has just announced the new director of the Johnson Space Center, and it's a black woman. 31-year NASA veteran Vanessa Weish is that new director. She's the first black woman to head up any of the space centers in the NASA system, and one of two women selected as the agency's newest directors. In a release, Weiss said, quote, "I'm humbled and honored to be chosen to lead more than 10,000 employees at Johnson Space Center who work each day to enhance scientific and technological knowledge via space exploration to benefit all of humankind." Now, in her role, Weiss will oversee the center critical to NASA's human spaceflight missions, and it's home to the Astronaut Corps, International Space Station, the Orion program, and more. Weiss is a native of South Carolina and a graduate of bioengineering at Clemson University. Now, she has the Johnson Space Center in Houston. The other woman is Janet Petro. She was named also in the week as the newest director of the Kennedy Space Center. So, ladies, congratulations. I'm prayerful and hopeful that your appointments will create a new excitement, especially among young girls, about space exploration. Folks, that'll take care of this hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. If this is your last stop, thanks for kicking it with us these last couple of hours or so. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 on the East Coast. For those of you moving on, of course, more news, views, great music. We'll recap our social media question of the day. Vince's Vince to wrap things up. Oh, and by the way, for those of you listening on our flagship, BigsRadio.com, don't forget, coming up at 10 a.m. Central Time, it is the boss lady in the midday, Dinah Biggs, getting that workday started for you between 10 a.m. and noon Central Time. You're listening to Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposits at a Bank of America ATM near you. Check your watches. 12 before the hour.
The Bigs Radio Network. Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Name it and claim it.
The Bigs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio talk or text line 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Another black candidate announcing his run for the U.S. Senate, but this time on the other side of the aisle. And believe it or not, it's a well-known athlete from way back when. The Black Information Network lets us know that former reality television show host Donald Trump has hinted that former Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker will run for a seat in the Senate next year. He shared the news during an interview with conservative pundits Clay Travis and Buck Sexton on the Clay and Buck Show. Trump says, quote, "He told me he's going to, and I think he will. I had dinner with him a week ago. He's a great guy. He's a patriot. And he's a very loyal person. He's a very strong person. They love him in Georgia, I'll tell you." Walker and Trump have had a long-standing relationship that dates back more than 3 decades. As a matter of fact, I know some of you are wondering, well, why is Herschel Walker with Donald Trump? You football fans remember the New Jersey Generals of the United States Football League, the league that Trump owned at one time? Yeah, right there. Now, also, Walker's son Christian has always emerged as an aggressive supporter of the hotel chain owner. Now, if Walker were to run, he goes up against Raphael Warnock. Interesting. That could be one of those situations where, if you remember a few years back when Barack Obama was trying to get a Senate seat, he went up against Alan Keyes in Illinois. Keyes wound up becoming a last-minute replacement of another guy who, unfortunately, if it wasn't for a sex scandal, probably could have beaten Obama. But because of said scandal, he dropped out. Alan Keyes came in. Barack Obama easily cruised to the seat. I don't know, this might be a tighter battle between Walker and Warnock if Walker made the call. We'll just see. Vince Brown in the morning. We're going to recap our social media question of the day in a skosh. Vince's Vince coming up at the end. Check your watches. It's 18 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
We're not for sale.
The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The catch of the day.
The Bigs Radio Network.
.30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Make sure you get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text. 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, this show is up every Monday through Friday morning, 6 a.m. Central Time on our flagship BigsRadio.com, and also out east on our Philadelphia affiliate, SoulRadio51Philly.com. That's at 7 a.m. Again, don't forget later tonight, live edition of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer, the greatest love songs of all time. That gets going for you 9 p.m. Central Time on our flagship, BigsRadio.com. Time now to recap our social media question of the day. A little insurrection in the flavor today. we were talking about Congressman Benny Thompson of Mississippi as it's not the congressman. Let me not do that to him. Yeah, Congressman Benny Thompson of Mississippi. I'm thinking about Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, but Congressman Benny Thompson of Mississippi is now the chairman of what is now a House Select Committee to look into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. So, with that in the rear view, we asked the question, what questions do you want answered about the January 6th attack? Respond now by going to our Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station, or you can respond via the Biggs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. If you're responding from outside the U.S. and Canada, make sure to dial +1 before the number. Vince Brown in the morning. Stay tuned. Vince's Vents. We're going to address what's really going to happen to U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson in light of her suspension and some other things that are jumping off at the Tokyo Olympics that are keeping black folk out of the mix. This ain't right either. All that coming up in a skosh. Check your watches. We are at 27 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The voice of the community.
The Biggs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Online and on your mobile device.
The Biggs Radio Network.
$15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Last chance to get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Once again, don't forget to join our Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station. That's with 2 G's, by the way. Upgrade your love of Biggs Radio to VIP status. We put the podcast premieres there. We put the exclusive events. Everything that goes first because you're a part of the group. So get to the group now. Biggs Radio Station on Facebook. Also, stay tuned at 10 o'clock. For those of you on our flagship BiggsRadio.com, Boss Lady in the Midday, Dinah Biggs gets at it 10 a.m. to noon Central Time with some great classics. Vince's Vents. We putting 5 rings on this one. The views expressed on Vince's Vents are not necessarily those of the Biggs Radio Network, its subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors. Now, most of you, if not all of you, know by now that U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson, who won the U.S. trials in the 100-meter sprint, has been suspended for the next 30 days retroactive to the test because of marijuana. And there's an uproar on both sides of this issue. But a lot of you are coming down on Ms. Richardson. She explained herself. She's holding herself accountable. Heck, her LSU teammates even came out in support of her and said, look, we did the same stuff. We knew we got the consequences, a lot of it's self-imposed, but look, we back our sister. I love that out of those ladies. So why can't y'all do the same, huh? You know, y'all don't folk y'all don't want to all judging each other. Doesn't it say in the good book, judge not lest ye shall be judged? Come on now, this ain't your first rodeo. Come on. And I think a lot of you got the story misconstrued when you heard suspension. You thought, okay, that's it for her. The Olympics start July 23rd. Her suspension goes to July 27th. She still has an opportunity to get a medal in the 4x100 relay, which is a little bit later on in the games. So she ain't out of it by a long shot, y'all. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Now, while everybody is so focused on her, let me tell you about the little sly stuff the Olympic Games trying to put on a black business. Check this wildness out. This slipped deep under the radar. Again, thanks to our friends at the Black Information Network for shining a light on this. FINA, which is the international governing body for aquatic sports, called themselves banning swimmers from using soul caps in this year's games. They are designed by black entrepreneurs, and soul caps offer a unique design specifically for diverse hairstyles. Now, this is the initial reason why FINA banned the caps. They claim that elite swimmers, quote, don't require caps of such size, and adding on, the Federation also claimed that the swim cap does not, quote, follow the natural form of the head. Well, the Black Swimming Association called them out, saying that the ruling was, quote, disappointing and will, quote, discourage many younger athletes from competitive swimming. Apparently, because this affects a lot of minority swimmers that have those diverse hairstyles, those caps, unfortunately, will not be brought to the Olympics. And FINA is standing on that despite the backlash. You know what? FINA need to be shot just like the IOC with that marijuana nonsense. Just say y'all don't want black folks swimming in the pool. Just say that. Y'all doing the same cot-picking thing these knuckleheads here in the States are doing. Say it with your chest. Now, I got to give FINA credit. They're standing firm on their decision not to allow the caps. But I'm like, look, everybody that swims ain't got the same dang on head. You know, this notion that elite swimmers don't have that type of head, I beg to differ, home skillet. Simone Manuel? Psh, girl, please. Let her wear that soul cap. What y'all trying to do, make her chop her bun off or something? Y'all, I mean, these international folk just really trip me out because they just flat out do not want black folk doing anything at the doggone Olympics but bounce a basketball. And I'm like this, look. Y'all keep pressing FINA if you love swimming and if you love black swimmers. Keep pressing them on that. They want to be a stick in the mud, fine. But we gonna let them know, look, there's gonna be a lot more of us black folk in the pool, and we gonna